Still morning, yeah. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Rich Roberts, Fireman Rich here on Rumble Studios. And I don't have my backgrounds. We're just going to go with this. I just got to playing some PUBG Mobile and playing some PUBG Battlegrounds there. Let's see. Get that ready. Okay, our sound is doing good. Let's see. We're off and running on 5 networks. For some reason, YouTube didn't take place. I guess it got too. I broadcast last night for 3 hours, but this is. Let me see if I can bring that up. Let me see. Let's see. What do we got? UFC, pick one. Oh, there we go. Okay, that'll work. UFL. We're going to be talking about the UFL. And okay, let's see. I'm still getting some feedback from one of my devices. I think that's it right there. Okay, but I hope everybody's having a great Saturday. Start of the weekend. The weekend's here. We had some great fun last night. Rich Roberts, though, Fireman Rich here on Rumble Studios, and we're broadcasting out to here on Rumble, Locals, Twitch, Facebook Live, and X Live. So we had quite a few people on X Live last night doing the PUBG Battlegrounds and stuff. That's a game I play along with PUBG Mobile, which I got a chicken dinner on PUBG Mobile this morning. Woo! I posted the links on my Twitter or my X/Twitter page at Fireman Rich of that win, and then I got a number 10 on the one game of PUBG Battlegrounds, and better than last night. Well, I the last couple games were bad games there, but nonetheless, we were. Let me see how I can put this. Can I put this like this? I got to prop that up. Let me prop this up a little bit just to keep the charge going on the tablet. Got the tablet here, but I got to maintain the charge on it. Let's see. We bring it back this way. That should work. It just gives me the chat in the chat over on Twitch. Too many cables here. That's what it is. Okay, there we go. Okay, so that'll give me an idea what's going on. Oh, I gotta get a little block set right there. There we go. Okay, so we're off and running here for Let's Talk Football. UFL football, as far as that goes, and the UFL football that is broadcast. This is week 10. Week 10. We're starting a little late. We usually start at 9:30, but obviously I just said I was playing PUBG Mobile and PUBG Battlegrounds this morning. And plus I slept in a little bit as far as that goes. And the games don't start. Today's games don't start till 2. So we're well within the, we got plenty of time. So that's why I figure I'll just take the time to play some, because I'm getting back into the gaming after 3 hours last night on the PUBG Battlegrounds. And we had great fun. And I want to thank all the viewers there. That's the thing about multicasting. I was at six platforms last night, and the combined total is like over 100 views. Thank you very much. That's the whole purpose of doing the multicasting. I'm right in that comfort zone of where I want to be, the target. And I thank you for that, the viewers and the viewers on the replay and stuff. So that's very fantastic. I got great support from the viewers of this program. I wonder, I thought I had a let me see if I can bring it in. Let's see. We got to get the logo for this is the last show for the regular season, it being week 10 of UFL. But for you folks, I'm also on X at Fireman Rich on X/Twitter, at Fireman Rich also over there on Truth Social, Blue Skies, Instagram Threads, and the public Facebook is the real Fireman Rich. Okay, there's the image. Let's do this. Talk before we get into the football. UFL. Let's just say UFL. We'll leave it at that. Okay, and then I got to browse to get the logo. Where's the logo? UFL. Okay, there it is. That's what we want right there. That's what we need. We'll lock that in. Okay. Let's bring that down to right over that. There we go. There we go. There's the logo. How's it look? There it is. We'll go with this one. I usually have the background using prism lens, but I forgot about that, so that's no problem. We're gonna just go this way. But this is the last broadcast for the 2024 Spring Football League, and let's see something. I will be right back. So just hang loose here for a moment, and I will be right back. All right, we are back. We are back here for Let's Talk Football broadcast, UFL football, that is. And had to take care of a few things here. So we're good to go. 11 minutes in. So we're going to be on for about an hour and see where this takes us. Let me check because I don't have a count on the folks over there on X Live. Let me check that real quick. And let's see, we refresh that. I tell you, X Live is just looking great. Okay, we have nobody there on X Live. That's okay, though. That's fine. How's our sound? We got sound. We got sound over there. That's coming from the desktop. So we had a problem last night. We had like 9 people on X Live on the PUBG mobile or PUBG Battlegrounds last night, and then one Dog Walker, who's a follower of me on X, said that he could not commented to me that he could not comment on the X Live. Well, I'm not a blue checkmark person, and it's defaulted to subscribed only. So you'd have to subscribe to me, which you don't have to do that. I don't want, on Twitter or X, I don't need the subscriptions and stuff like that. And even on Twitch, as far as that goes. So, but if you do, I do appreciate it. It's not, I just want your view. I want to get the numbers there as far as that goes. So I do appreciate the reviews. And let me see. They got this thing called campaigns. We don't have anybody on, but I got to make it a habit to look at this as far as if we have a certain amount of people. And it's got to be at least up in the 30, which I don't think I'm going to be taking part in this because there's no way. Well, if I got this one for 10, what's this commercial? Because I yesterday during the live morning coffee, Friday morning coffee, I did one, and it's like I did it completely wrong, but it gave an example of what one would look like as far as that goes. It's called campaigns. It's their monetization for people that broadcast here on the Rumble Studios. Okay, let me get my outline up, and let's see. Does this? Let's see. Nobody on. Everybody's enjoying their Saturday morning here as far as that goes. You know what? I could bring up Facebook too. Let me bring up the Facebook because I don't think I get the counts for Facebook. Okay. Oh, Tim Brown's on. Everybody's over on Tim Brown's broadcast on X using. Well, he does Twitter Spaces. That's a Twitter Spaces. Okay, that's fine. Let's do Facebook here on the Surface 3. I've got my outline. Let me go ahead and present that. Windows, share, and let's go to the present. I got to turn the this off so you can see me. So here we have last week's scores for week 9, and pretty much week 9 and today's this weekend, week 10, really doesn't count for much because it was already set after week 8 who was going into the playoffs for the XFL conference and the USFL conference that makes up the UFL. And we can see that last week the Battlehawks they lost to the Renegades. So that bumped them down in the power. That will be noticed in the power rankings. They went down a little bit, and then that was the first Saturday game. But 6-3, they're in the playoffs. They won their division or their conference, and they're in the playoffs, as well as the Stallions, who was undefeated until San Antonio Brahmas have beat them 18-9. That was a real good game. So they have a loss, but the Stallions are first in their conference, the USFL, and the Brahmas are number 2. Or are they in? I'm not. We'll look at the conference. I'm not sure which conference. I get confused. And for Sunday games, the Showboats and Defenders played. The Defenders beat the Showboats. That was these last Sunday's games were really about nothing, really. And let's see, we're on the Facebook. Let's see how we look. Go ahead and mute that. Let's see how that looks. And the second game, the Panthers, they ended up winning against the Roughnecks, and that moved them up in the power rankings last week. That was the only real significant thing that happened. as far as that goes. And let's see, let's do that so we can unmute this. Okay. See, so that was Week 9's final scores, and the Panthers, they're the other one team that's in the in the playoffs. So it'll be. We'll see how that looks here. Okay, let's see. So good football, not really exciting because it's already been determined who is going to be in the finals, or in the it's basketball. It's the Celtics and Dallas Mavericks are in the finals. That's the finals. That's NBA. So let's see. I forgot to bring this up. Let's bring up that. And I got that. Okay, so and in the standings, the overall standings, we'll go to that next. I should just leave this off for the most part. Nothing changed in the standings. So as you can see, okay, the USFL conference consists of the Stallions, the Panthers, the Showboats, and the Roughnecks. So the Panthers and Stallions will be they clinched a division with the little X there, or clinched their playoff spot. It's 2 from each conference. The other one's the XFL, where you got the Bahamas. They actually took over the number, so they have home field advantage. So that win last week against the Stallions bumped them up to number 1 because the Stallions beat the Battlehawks and the Bahamas beat so that gave them a little bit of a nudge there. Another 100 point. Well, it just bumped them in the percentages and stuff like that. So Stallions will be playing the Panthers next weekend, I believe, right? So I haven't changed my calendar, but we'll go over that, the schedule. And then in the XFL, the Battlehawks will be going to San Antonio to play the Bahamas. So that's going to be an interesting I think one of the losses that the Battlehawks was to San Antonio. So that's going to be a good matchup. And so I need to see what is the schedule for today. And we got some very important, and the thing of it is the playoff games, they're essentially going to be played today in a manner of speaking. So we'll go over that in my picks. I think on my picks, I haven't really decided, but I think I'm up around 55, 60% as far as picks. So I'm on the plus side of picking the winners. But we're going to have a preview of the playoffs today, and we'll get to that. And I just noticed that as far as the schedule. So let's see. Let's bring up these stats. So let me take this back to the week 9 schedule. No, this is week 10. Is that week 10 or week 9? No, today's week 10, so that should be week 10. Yeah, this is week 10. Okay, so let me show you this. This is who we're playing, who's playing today. And this is going to be very interesting. And I'll bring up the whiteboard again, as I call it. There we go. There's the whiteboard. And you can see for today's games, you got, it'll be on Fox at 2 o'clock. ESPN and Fox. They will be on. The Panthers and Stallions down in Birmingham at 2 o'clock. And then at 4 o'clock on Fox Sports, I guess, you're going to have the Baramas and Battlehawks. So what's that tell you right there? That right there, folks, is the playoffs for next week. So we'll be seeing the same game set up. Let me make sure. June 8th. I think next week is the just make sure on the schedule. Playoffs. Yeah, June 8th. This will be the same schedule next week, where Saturday, it says to be determined. The location is going to be down in Birmingham, so it has to be the Panthers. They're in the same conference, just like the Baramas and the Battlehawks. Okay. Now tomorrow's games, Sunday, the Renegades will be at 12 o'clock. We'll go into DC. That's a do nothing. June 2nd, tomorrow morning at 12. That's on ABC and Fox Sports. And then there's a 7 o'clock game, Roughnecks and Showboats. I may arena. The games I will be watching today because they have a significance to see what kind of play, because it's going to be a rematch next week. So what you see on the schedule for today is what you're going to see next week for the playoffs for the 18th. And then the championship will be whoever wins on those games next Saturday, which will be the same games that they're playing today, but it'll be a rematch. The championship game is on the 16th, which is a Thursday night game. Okay. So that's how we're looking as far as who's playing. So there's our playoff setups. Now let's see. Last week we're going to go over the. I don't have 5 things to look for week unless they updated it. Let me check to see if they updated it. Let me bring up another UFL. Let's see, UFL. It's Fox Sports. Okay, here we go. Let's see. News. Do they have anything for... Oh, they do have 5 things to look for. Okay. For week 10. Okay. We do have 5 things to look for week 10. Let me put that in. For week 10. So before we get to 5 things to look for, we're going to go ahead and look at the player stats, the individual player stats, and I bring this up. We have nobody. Everybody's busy today. Okay, let's see. Present player stats for let's see, player stats. Okay, here's the player stats. And let me get rid of the camera here so you can see all the. This is after week 9. This is how we set up Luis Perez. He's still number 1 with the losing team. And then DC Defenders, they have a quarterback number 2. They came up, I guess. Andrea Martinez leading the Stallions, and then AJ McCarron, who was off last week, but will probably be playing today. If not today, probably because they're already in the playoffs. So why save him for the playoffs next week? He might play because they're going to be battling. They're going to be going against the San Antonio team, so to get a feel for him. And then you see Michigan's quarterbacks finish up 9-10. So San Antonio's Quintana Dormed. So that's how they set up on passing. For rushing, you have the Birmingham Stallions are number 1 with Adrian Martinez. He's the quarterback. and he'll probably be overall. I think he's destined to be the MVP. I think he's going to be MVP because he's on the best team. He's got let's see, passing. He's number 3, but you look at rushing, he's right there at the top rushing. I think he's the top candidate in my opinion for MVP. And then we got San Antonio, John Lovett, Jacob Salas was a great running back for St. Louis Battlehawks, and the rest of the running backs. Receiving, this guy just rocks. Hakeem Butler for the St. Louis Battlehawks. The guy is just an outstanding receiver. I can see going into. He's another player that I can see playing in the NFL next year, this upcoming season, as well as Justin Hall. Who was it? Birmingham? Yeah, Deion Kane. He's pretty good too. Individual defenders. You can see that this is what's scary right here for the Battlehawks today. They got to go against these two guys. They're top. San Antonio has 2 top defensive players. They're in the top, and then St. Louis has 1, and then there's another one down the number 9 spot. So and then everybody else. Birmingham has 1. Well, San Antonio's got 3 in the top 10. Battlehawks have 2, and I don't see anybody. The one thing that's missing in this stat right here, where's Michigan? There's nobody. So Michigan may have a problem defensive wise, seeing that Birmingham has a couple. We'll go over the total for the teams, but these are just individual. Special teams, St. Louis Battlehawks, field goal attempts and misses. And this is the one I like, Jake Bates. He just captured my attention from week 1 when he hit that 64-footer. So, but these are all individual special teams stats for scoring and stuff. Overall scoring, Jacob Salas, I believe he's the running back. And what do we got there? Let me get rid of that. So, and then all-purpose, I have no idea what all-purpose is. I didn't really research this. Okay, for our team stats, let's go ahead and go to the team stats. Let's see, can I bring up my camera on this one? I think I can bring up my camera. We'll bring up the camera on this one because it's not as our team stats for the UFL. You can see for offense, top offense again, right there, Birmingham Stallions. They're the favorite to win it all, I think. And then you have Arlington. They're number 2, but they're not in it. They have some good stats overall, individual wise and team wise. But what you doing, Jack? Cat's scratching the rug. But then you have San Antonio. Number 3, number 4, and number 5, they're all in the playoffs. And that's all I'm focusing, I guess, in today. The ending last week, going into the playoffs for next week. Now, this will be my last show. I will not be doing a broadcast next week. Probably save that for the week of the 18th. Let's see, 18th. Oh, June 8th and the 18th. When is the sketch? Let me check the schedule again. What the hell's going on here? Let me see. Championship it's a Sunday. I'm sorry. It's Sunday. So it'll be the 16th. Probably after today's broadcast, there'll be 1 to 2 weeks on a Sunday morning. I might have a short broadcast to go over the playoffs and leading up to the championships on Sunday, June 16th. What the hell? I don't know where I'm coming or going here. Okay, getting back to the team, our team stats there. Again, that's the total offense. Birmingham is number 1 in passing. Arlington, again, they have the worst record as far as losing. They lost. They had so many close games, but they lost. But then you see the next 3. Birmingham, for all practical purposes, they're number one on the playoff teams in San Antonio, St. Louis. You got DC Defenders, but then you have Michigan Panthers and stuff like that. So right there, those are all going to the then rushing. Again, Birmingham, top of the dot. Birmingham, Michigan, San Antonio. And this gives a really interesting mix for the offense. First downs, Birmingham at the top again. And, the other teams are sprinkled in at between number 2 and number 5. Conversions, Birmingham up at the top again. San Antonio Battlehawks are down along with the Michigan. So right now, all the stats right now showing that Birmingham is penalties, even the penalties, they're not really affecting them, but they're getting it done. And then scoring overall, this is the one stat the St. Louis Battlehawks supersedes the Birmingham Stallions in scoring. But with all the other stats, I can't see that that happening as far as make sure I'm on the thing, yeah. As far as that overtaking the Battlehawks or the Birmingham. The Pats, I'm not sure what Pats are. Overall team defense, you can see DC Defenders, they're not in it, but they were number one. San Antonio, they're going to be tough. It could be Birmingham and San Antonio. I'm just saying the way the stats are lining up. Don't count the St. Louis Battlehawks out, though, because they'll be rocking today and next week. Or no, next week it's going to be unless the Battlehawks, if the Battlehawks, that's why it's to be determined. If the Battlehawks beat the San Antonio Brahmas today, then home field goes back to, I'm just thinking that, home field goes back to St. Louis. So defense, that's going to be very close right there for today's game. Total defense, Birmingham's right at the top again, and you got the top 4 teams right there at the top. Passing team-wise, you got St. Louis Battlehawks. They have an outstanding passing offense, and then the other 3 teams that are in the playoffs right there. So this could all change today, depending on how the outcomes are for today's games. Rushing, Birmingham again, they're number 1 in this stat team-wise. Then Michigan's up there. That could help them. San Antonio and the Battlehawks are down in the middle. First downs. Again, all the teams that are in the playoffs are in the top 5. Conversions. And Birmingham's, they can't really. Scoring-wise, San Antonio, for their defense scores a lot better than Birmingham. And also, that could be – so San Antonio's defense is going to be very tough on St. Louis Battlehawks today. And then again, Pats. Special teams, Memphis Showboats. I mean, they're up there, but St. Louis and San Antonio, their special teams aren't really good. Turnovers, turnover stats, as far as that goes, the interceptions and fumble recoveries, Birmingham's right up there at number 2, ahead of St. Louis, Michigan, and San Antonio. So there we have it for the individual and team stats as far as that goes. So it's going to be an interesting day today for the games. Like I said, today's games are probably really important. I'm just thinking about it for St. Louis Battlehawks to regain home field advantage because they rock in St. Louis. I wish I had my thing up right now. I don't want to go, but this is sufficient as far as that goes. The main thing is that's the logo. Let's see what's next on the agenda here. We have 5 things. Oh, let's see what's that. 5 things. Let's see. Is this 5 things? Okay, I forgot to bring this up again. I forgot to put this 5 things. Let's bring this up. 5 things to Yeah, this is USFL 25 things to watch for in week 10. Let's go ahead and present this up here. Bring this up. Present. 5 things to watch for. Here we go. How's that looking? And this is the weekend slate. These are the teams that will be battling it out. And the 5 things we need to be looking for. The battle for home field advantage in the XFL game takes place today. So it is. Okay, that's one of the things to watch for. It is a game. Okay, I didn't even think of that. The St. Louis Battlehawks, 6-3, host the San Antonio Brahmas at the Dome at American Center in St. Louis. St. Louis won the earlier match between the two teams, a 31-40 victory in week 3. A win for the Battlehawks means they would secure another home game next week and decide if Brahmas win, they win. So, however, the Battlehawks will have to recover from an upset to Arlington on the road back last week in week 9. The biggest way to judge a football team and what they're about is how they respond. St. Louis coach Anthony Betch said, I'll give credit to our players because every time we've had our backs to the wall, we responded. So the challenges is on, and I expect a much better product this week. So Saturday's second game will be the USFL title game preview between Birmingham and Stallions 8-1 and the Michigan Panthers 7-2 at Pontiac Stadium. Protective. Okay, so that's in Detroit. In Sunday's doubleheader, the DC Defenders host the Renegades at noon, and we already went over that. So, but here's 5 things to work. Will A.J. McCarron start at quarterback for the Battlehawks? McCarron has not played in the past 2 weeks because of an ankle injury he suffered in a loss against Birmingham in week 7. He has a significant ankle injury that we're trying to get better. The Battlehawks coach said there are things a quarterback has to do to be able to function properly. He wants to be out there. I have to make the right decision on how to go about it because, if he gets injured, if it can take another week off and save him for the playoffs, I think that's what the coach is looking at. McCarron, who currently listed as a starter on the team's depth chart, was a limited participant in practice all week and officially questionable for week 10. The Battlehawks averaged 28.4 points per contest when McCarron is at the starter and 24 points for Manly Wilkins at him. So it's just a difference. I think I think it would be prudent to save him for the playoff game. Meanwhile, the Brahmas have more clarity at quarterback position with Quinton Dorman limited in practice for shoulder injury. Chase Garbers is set to get his first start since going on IR in week 3. Gabers returned to action after 2-week possession shoulder injuries to led the Brahmas a stunning win over the undefeated Stallions last week. Is this him last week? Let's go ahead and play this. Bring this down here to go ahead and play this one. This is off of Twitter. And we'll go ahead and play this one. Let me get the volume up.
Gonna wanna look like a saint. This ain't been about critics, not about gimmicks, not about who's the greatest. It's always been about love and hate. Now let me say I'm the biggest hater. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. I hate the way that you sneak this. If I catch flight, it's gonna be direct. We hate.
Brahmas finishing strong as far as that goes. So put this back up here. Oh. So the number 2 thing to look for, Michigan Panthers are resting key players for the postseason, so they could possibly lose today in Michigan. Michigan number 1 receiving, Marcus Sims. He has a hamstring, and top running back Matt Coburn, forearms have been ruled out for Saturday's game, along with safety Corin Ballard, hamstring, and defensive. So that could be a factor for Michigan in today's game. For Birmingham, outstanding outside linebacker DeMarcus Gates will not play due to a foot injury. Birmingham head coach Skip Holtz also confirmed this week that defensive coordinator John Chavez returns home to deal with health issues and has been replaced by defensive back Corey Chamberlain. Let's see. The Brahmas will also be shorthanded with electric running back Anthony McFarland has been ruled out due to running right shoulder injury. So the injuries are having an effect on these players. Number 3 thing to watch out, Stallions quarterback Andrew Martinez remains front runner, and I think he is for UFL MVP. I mean, he leads the rushings, for Christ's sakes. Holtz found another dynamic quarterback to follow in the footsteps of last year's USFL MVP Alex McGovern in Martinez, the Kansas City product. That's Martinez now. Not only led the league in rushing with 487 yards, but he is the 3rd in passing, 1,587, and tied for 2nd touchdowns, 15, while completing nearly 60% of his pass. Martinez is the main reason Birmingham offense is humming, and that's why they're number 1. They got a good quarterback. Number 4 thing to look at, who takes home the first overall draft pick, Roughnecks or Showboat? Okay, so they're already talking about the draft here, which Daryl Johnson, the UFL's head of football operation, isn't a fan of giving things away to create more competitive competition between these last place finishers. The UFL made the final regular season game a winner take all for number 1 overall pick. Oh, that's interesting. So you got to win the game to get the number 1 pick. That's different in the 2025 USFL draft. So that they're doing interesting things in the UFL. The USFL did something similar 2 seasons ago with Michigan earning a number 1 pick after the victory. That's when the USFL was a league onto its own. Now it's part of the UFL. So they're going to go quarterback Josh Love will get his first start for Memphis. The last time he started was for the Panthers in Week 9 in the USFL. So he was over there. So that's interesting. So let's go ahead and play this one. I think this will be interesting. I want to see this one. Let's bring it down to this one. Let's see.
Who would have believed we've been in the same position we were in year 1 in Legacy USFL? So here we go into the final week of the regular season, and we've got another 1-8 matchup. This time, it is the Houston Roughnecks versus the Memphis Showboats. So just like we did back in year 1 of Legacy USFL, we're not going to give you the first pick of the draft. You're going to have to earn the first pick of the draft. So on Sunday, in the final game of the regular season in year 1 of the UFL, in this battle is for not only the number 1 overall pick, but you'll also have that first pick in every round of the draft. So make sure you tune in Sunday night. This is going to be merit-based. We're not giving anything away in the UFL. You got to earn it. Sunday night, Memphis Showboats, Houston Roughnecks. A lot of stuff on the line and getting ready for year 2. Come join us.
Now that is interesting. I think that is fantastic to do. That makes it more. I didn't even know that. I did not know that. As far as that's going to make it a very interesting game. The last game Sunday night at 7:00, and against the Roughnecks versus the Showboats. It's XFL Roughnecks against the USFL Showboats. So there's an added plus before the playoffs. I think that's fantastic. I like that. I really do. I really like that. Number 5 stat of the week: St. Louis to do everything receiver and return man Darren Shepard leads the USFL in all-purpose yards per contest as an average of 120. So to watch him, it's going to be interesting. So there we have the 5 things to look for this weekend. I like that playoff game, or the game that determined the thing there. Let's see. Power rankings. Let's go. Let's see, what is that? We're going to do that next. USFL power rankings. Let's see. We're going to move this one over here. Our power rankings now. This is how they line up as far as after. Let's go ahead and do that. Bring the whiteboard back up. But USFL week 9, after week 9, power rankings. Stallions still number 1 despite loss to Brahmas, but the Brahmas did move up overall, and you can see St. Louis dropped down. So these are the 1 through 4 are your tops. So Michigan was number 2, they dropped, and the Brahmas, San Antonio, and Michigan go up. This side doesn't really matter, but let's see. With 1 week left in the USFL regular season and the 4 playoffs participants set, we're going to be treated to not 1 but 2 matches featuring USFL and XFL title games contenders playing each other. So that's a big deal for today. But the power rankings, Birmingham number 1, San Antonio Stallions number 2, Michigan Panthers are number 3, and Battlehawks are number 4. So I don't know if that after today the power rankings will have a play as far as that goes to go into playoffs. So that's the top teams there and stuff. So that'll be interesting. Very interesting. To say nonetheless. So there's our power rankings. Let's see. Our next is the picks for today's games. Let's see what we got here. Our picks for today's games. Let me bring the whiteboard back up. And we'll finish off with this, I guess. So for week 10 picks, Michigan and Birmingham Stallions. This is good. Pontiac Stadium. I thought they were playing. Let me make sure these the schedule here. Let's make sure. Yeah, Michigan. Oh, Protective Stadium. I said Pontiac. The state. Yeah, I was going to say it was supposed to be down in Birmingham. It's at Protective Stadium, not Pontiac. That's Ford Stadium that Panthers. Okay, I got that mixed up. So Michigan Panthers are going into Birmingham. Injuries on both parts. Players will be sitting out, and it'll be interesting. But I think it's because it's a home field. You know what? I'm going to go with Michigan. I'm going to go with Michigan to win this. I think this is going to be an upset game again. I think this will because I think there's going to probably be more fight in Michigan because it's the last game. And let's see, where is this? Let's go ahead and we'll highlight that and we'll underline it. That's who I'm picking right there for the first game. Second game, San Antonio Brahmas versus St. Louis Battlehawks. Well, Battlehawks have been my team all year long, or for this season, this inaugural season of the UFL. So I'm going with the Battlehawks. Arlington and Denver DC Defenders. I'm going to go with Arlington. I like Perez as a quarterback. He's a good quarterback. He'll probably be playing in the NFL as a backup this upcoming season. Houston Roughnecks and Memphis Showboats. This is the game right here that's going to determine who gets – I did not know that. This is a very interesting twist. Who gets the number 1 pick, not just in the first round, but every round. That is huge for next season. So which team do I like between? I'm going to say Roughnecks. I want the Roughnecks to get that pick. So I'm going to I'll be watching the games today. I don't know if I'll be watching much of the Arlington Defenders, but this game I probably will have on the TV and keep track of. So I'm going to go with the Roughnecks. So those are my picks for this Week 10 final game. And these are the games, again, that are slated for today's match. Today at 2 p.m. on ESPN, the Michigan Panthers going against the Birmingham Stallions. And then at 4 o'clock, San Antonio Brahmas going into St. Louis. And that field is – they have the best fans, I think, if they gave a trophy out for fans. I mean, they pack them in 40-plus thousand. And then Sunday games, 12 o'clock, Arlington going into D.C. But the big game – it's a losing Sunday, the losing teams, but there's big significance in that 7 o'clock game. I'm just astounded by that. That's a big surprise right there, as far as that goes. And I think that is huge in the thing there. So let me check something. I want to check how many people do we have over on Twitter Live. Let's check Twitter Live real quick. We're currently with one viewer, so thank you for the one viewer there. It's on Twitter Live. We appreciate it. And over on Facebook, do we have any? I don't know if we can tell. It's after the fact that I can tell if somebody comes up on Facebook. Of course, we're not on YouTube. It didn't want to click. I will upload a copy of this, or actually export it from Twitch, because I'm broadcasting on Twitch, and I don't know where it says. It says we're live. Okay, that's good. I'll export it from Twitch to go over there on the thing. So those are our weekend setups there. As far as our final week, I think it's going to be a pretty exciting. Let me double check just to make sure we have all the. Let's see if there's any news. Oh, they did have 5 things to look for. Okay, let me check that one. 5 things. Is it the same 5 things? Will the XFL Brahmas or the XFL Battlehawks earn the number 1 seed in the XFL conference? So that's a big factor for today to look at. Yeah, they got the same. So that's the same. Let's see. Every touchdown. Oh, they have every touchdown. Championship odds. What's the championships odds? What do we got? I'm not too into the betting on the football teams and stuff. MVP power rankings for let's see, the USFL MVP power rankings. Battlehawks Darius Shepard enters a strong week 9. But Andrea Martinez, quarterback for Birmingham Stallions, he's got to win it. I can't see anybody else taking over for him. As far as you got Hakeem Butler, he's an outstanding receiver. He's number 2, and then Darius Shepard, the wide receiver for there's 2 in contention wide receivers, but when you have a quarterback such as Adrian Martinez for the Birmingham Stallions, he leads the rushers, and he's the number 1 quarterback. So I would say he's a sure win. I think. I could be wrong, but we'll have to see as far as that goes. Let's see, what else do we have? Anything? Let me check the USFL on their features on news. USFL announces a nationwide summer and fall showcase series. What's this? Let's see what this is all about. This comes out on March 30th, and this is on the USFL series showcase locations. These showcasers provides players a chance to exhibit their skills in front of USFL coaches. Oh, okay, so it's like a combine and stuff like that. So that's all that is. Okay. And there's not much else in the thing here. Let me check. We don't. I primarily use Fox Sports and USFL webpage. I'm curious on what as we get finishing out Week 10, what ESPN has to say about the UFL. Let's check ESPN. ESPN on the. Let's see. We'll go to USFL. What's USFL? Yeah, Canadian football. Where's USFL? Oh, there it is, right there. 2024 USFL Week 10 picks. Can Battlehawks maintain home field advantage? So that's what they're on the ESPN channel or webpage. While the USFL is a new league, that doesn't mean we don't have some knowledge that can prove useful for better looking to make. I don't know what that's all about. Okay. So that's one of the articles they're looking at, USFL Week 10 odds. Let's see if that gives me anything better. Moneyline has, I don't know, a plus 290 to Birmingham's 410. That means Michigan's better. Michigan over the Bahamas. No, Stallions -8. San Antonio -2. DC -2. Houston. So Birmingham is favored in a game against Michigan. St. Louis Battlehawks are favored by 2.5. And DC Defenders are favored on Sunday's game against Arlington. And the big one Sunday night for the again, that's going to be an interesting outcome. That you're not going to playoffs, but you're fighting for something. Houston Roughnecks are favored to win the Sunday night game, and I think that's who I picked, wasn't it? Was it Roughnecks? Yeah, I did pick Houston. Pick Houston. I picked Arlington. I picked St. Louis. The only team that I didn't pick the favorite was Birmingham is favorite over Michigan for that game. So that's interesting. Week 10 odds. 3 home teams favored. Okay, the home teams are favored. So that would be Birmingham, St. Louis, and the Defenders. So, okay, I see how that works. Okay, so they are the favorites, and the Houston is favored on the Sunday night game, according to the ESPN Week 10 odds. And that's about it. And we're right at an hour. That's fantastic. Let me see what we got for these notifications. Let's see. We don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that. Let's see. Let's see. Is she? Did I get a comment from her? Let me check my Rumble feed here as far as. No, not sure what that's about. Let's see. Okay. Okay, so we're let's see, what do we have? My content. Here we have currently one person on Rumble. Okay, that's fine. All right, so there we are. That's the broadcast as far as our final week here on Let's Talk Football. And it's been a good 10 weeks of USFL. I'm going to enjoy today's games and playoffs next week. And we will be back Sunday morning on the 16th for Let's Talk Football for the special broadcast of the championship preview and see who won after the playoffs. So we're going to go ahead and exit stage left here. And The game started at 2:00, so it's 12:30. It's time for lunch. It's lunchtime, manja time, as far as that goes. So it's been a pleasure presenting these 10 weeks of USFL football. I'm having a ball doing this, and I'm not sure if I was contemplating on doing this for Canadian football, but it's still out. I'll have to look at it, but it has been fun doing. Let's Talk Football, UFL football, that is, and I've really enjoyed it. And I want to say thank you for all the people that have viewed over the last 10 weeks the broadcast here. It's greatly appreciated. And I want to say thank you very much. Okay, we'll exit stage left. Again, you can follow me over on X/Twitter at Fireman Rich. I'm also over there on Truth Social, Blue Skies, Instagram, Threads as at Fireman Rich, and on the public Facebook, just tag in the real Fireman Rich. Somebody took at Fireman Rich there, so I have to go with the real Fireman Rich. Just Google Fireman Rich. But we're here on Rumble Studios as Fireman Rich, and over there on Twitch as Fireman Rich, and I appreciate all the views and greatly appreciate it. So you all have a great one. Wherever you may be on this big blue marble, live life, have fun. Ciao for now. As always, peace. Take care, folks. Enjoy the games for week 10 of the UFL. Ciao for now.